Good evening, associates, and welcome to the new employee training orientation program. Today we will be learning about several responsibilities of a great cashier in a work environment, especially on the sales floor. By the time we are done with this presentation, you will know that good customer service, knowledge of the store and its products, and the skills of properly handling financial transactions are key components to a great cashier. Before we get started, I would like to ask you a series of questions. Can anyone tell me what is a cashier? Okay. Why do you think the cashier is responsible for lasting impressions? Can anyone name some of the responsibilities of a cashier? And which one do you think is the most important? Cash flow is very important for the prosperity of a company. Cashiers perform the task of monitoring and keeping records of cash flow. Cashiers is primarily responsible for various operations all related to cash registers. When appointing a cashier, the employees want a qualified, responsible, honest, and reliable person. A cashier is a person who has the job of dealing directly with customer financial transactions, and there are a few specific qualities that make for a skilled cashier. How many of you have ever worked as a cashier? What are some of the things you were required to do? Have any of you experienced a bad cashier? What about a good one? And how did it make you feel? Now we're going to switch gears a little bit and discuss the 7 responsibilities of a cashier in hopes that our customer will never have a bad experience. The first responsibility that we will discuss will be good customer service. Smile and be nice. If you're experiencing a bad day, leave it at home. You should never bring personal situations into the workplace. Remember to be polite even to the meanest customers. Do not be a pushover, but make sure to leave the customer happy and satisfied. Even if the customer experience has been bad, the cashier can change that around by simply being polite. The second responsibility is to ask the customer if they're having a great day. Listening is key. Listen to the customer response and acknowledge it. Genuinely responding lets the customer know you care. Try to lift their spirits if their day hasn't started off so well, or share the joy if their day is going great. Engage with the customer on a professional but personal level. The third responsibility is to stop talking to coworkers when service is required. Customers feel uncomfortable and disrespected if the cashier keeps conversing around or over them while being served. Learn to drop and pick up conversations appropriately. The customer should never feel like you are not giving them your undivided attention. The fourth responsibility of a great cashier is get to know the basics of your cash system. Whether it is an old manual cash register or updated system, you should know how to do all the basic tasks. Ask other associates or managers to help you when you get stuck. There is nothing worse than having your line build up because you did not understand the cashing system. I remember when I used to work at a retail store, we had an older associate there, and it was around Christmas time. I think each one of us had about a good 10 people in our line. I had to keep going over there to help her because she forgot to hit one button that would settle the whole transaction. That not only frustrated me, but it frustrated the customers because at that point in time, we had 2 lines backing up, but only one cash register knowing what to do. The fifth responsibility is to count back change. When there is not a long line, get into the habit of counting back the change to the customer instead of just handing them a bunch of bills. This cuts down on mistakes and keep your register balanced. Sometimes you may enter the wrong amount, and it is your duty to fix it. Counting back change assures the calculation is correct. It will also be helpful to do simple math in your head because not a lot of times will there be a calculator around for you to plug in the numbers to see exactly what change that customer will get back. And you don't want to make mistakes because after all, you are in a retail business where math is needed. The sixth responsibility of a great cashier is to learn how to do things that does not come up often. For an example, if you only sell a gift certificate once every week or two every week, it's still a good idea to know the routine by heart. It is also a good idea to know what to do if you make a mistake or a small problem come up. You do not want the customer waiting around because of something that you do not know. That will cause confusion, line buildup, and frustration for both you and the customer because what if that customer is in a rush and they have to be somewhere? You not knowing your job is what will hold them up. And last but not least, know the store's products well enough to make suggestions and compliments. Even if you are only a cashier and never expected to work the floor, you're still an employee and might be asked questions. If you happen to know something is a particularly good purchase, let the customer know that they just got the first of a brand new product, or that you think that the product is the nicest in the store and that they made a good choice. Be sincere about this and don't overdo it. But a little compliment can create the perception of added value and make a customer happier with their purchase. I myself are one of those customers that need a little reassurance. I will pick up something because it looks good in the store, and as I get closer and closer to the register, I'm thinking like, maybe I don't need this, maybe I can spend my money somewhere else. So just by having the cashier tell me, oh no, this looks good on you, or this fits nice, or this is brand new, it really helps me decide that, hey, maybe I do want to purchase this. Now that we have learned the 7 responsibilities of a great cashier, we will go into a little activity. This activity will consist of role playing. I will need all of you to split into groups of 2. I will give you a scenario and you are required to resolve the issue from a cashier point of view. Be sure to incorporate one of the 7 responsibilities. I will give you all 10 minutes to discuss your scenario to your partner. Great, you all did awesome. I'm glad to see that you did grasp the 7 responsibilities of a great cashier. Okay, so let's review. The first responsibility is to have good customer service. The second responsibility is to ask the customer if they are having a good day. The third responsibility is stop talking to coworkers when service is required. The fourth responsibility is get to know the basics of your cash system. The fifth responsibility is to make sure you count back change. The sixth responsibility is to learn how to do things that does not come up often. And last but not least, know the store's product well enough to make suggestions and compliments. I can tell right now each of you will do great when you hit that sales floor. Last week we started the new employee orientation with going over the rules and regulations and the procedures. Today we went into detail as your role as a cashier, and next week you will be put on the floor. Now before we leave today, I would like you all to take out a paper and pencil, and I would like you to name 2 of the 7 responsibilities and explain them in detail how they work. Thank you for participating in our new employee orientation program, and I hope to see you all next week. Don't be afraid. You all will do great.